All right, what's going on YouTube? So today we're going to talk about my South African trip. First off though, I want to say how immensely grateful I am to Horizon Firearms, the people that brought you the 22 Creedmoor from Sammy, and then Hornady. If it wasn't for those guys, I would not have gone to South Africa. So I'm grateful in every way to those guys. Transition was smoothless. It's pretty awesome. I was pretty blessed on getting the invite to go there. They could have picked a whole lot of other people, but they picked me. So therefore, I was very, very, very pleased. What we're going to talk about is taking the 22 Creedmoor and the 22 ARC to Africa. I personally brought a 22 Creedmoor from Horizon Firearms. This is the Vananic Wombat action. Very, very nice rifle. I had the Leopold VX6 HD on top, and I couldn't have asked for a better rifle to take with me. I am very impressed with this action. These guys did a bang-up job on this rifle. Benchmark barrel with an iota stock, and the thing is just hammers, lights out. It's got trigger tech in here, and I'm very pleased with it. The thing shot amazing. Shooting 22 Creedmoor, shooting Hornady Hunter Precision ammo, 80 grain. Took this stuff, Africa. I got some, went and zeroed it at the range, and then just hammered. And then a 22 ARC that they brought, also basically on this same platform, just chambered in 22 ARC. Guys, I'm here to say 22 Creedmoor, 22 ARC, very, very well on medium-sized game, plains game. It was no problem. The closest shot I took on a game was 37 yards. The furthest was 512 yards. We shot basically stuff from the size of springbuck, and I shot all the way up to a water buck. The cartridge actually just blew me away with expectations, because really the only thing I had shot, and up to the point with the 22 Creedmoor, because that's what's legal in my state, is coyotes. I hadn't shot a deer or anything like that, so I was super excited to get out and put the 22 Creedmoor and 22 ARC to the test. Traveling to South Africa, I was pretty nervous about, but I'm glad we went with people that had been there before. Seth and Derek both had been there, and we hired, I believe it was Gracie, a travel agency. They made the trip extremely smooth, got all the paperwork we needed to fill out ahead of time. We met a guy named Bruce in South Africa, got us off the plane, got us where we needed to go, got us through security, got us done through our firearms. The transition was very easy. I realized I probably stressed out about a lot of stuff I didn't need to stress about, which is nice though, because it was a very pleasant experience. Once we got into, so I flew from Washington to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to Johannesburg, and then Johannesburg, we stayed the night in Johannesburg, and then from Johannesburg, we flew a plane to East London, and that is where Crusader Safari picked us up, and their PHs were extremely professional, super kind, wouldn't let us carry our bags, wouldn't let us carry anything. This very high class. I was very impressed with them. We met them. We took a 2.5-hour drive from there to our place we were hunting, the lodge, and we sat down, and I was getting ready to have a beer by the fire, and the first thing we noticed is one of the PHs spot up on the hill, a boar. And Colton Bagnoli, he shot it with the 22 Creedmoor. I think it was like 330 yards. First shot right through the stomach and came out, and then he hit it again and dropped it dead. 22 Creedmoor is a very capable cartridge. I was extremely impressed with the ballistics on it, how it did in the wind, and just the energy it dumped on the animal. The first animal I took was on the first day was a mountain reed buck, and I'll go ahead and splice in a picture right now of it. So that guy I shot at 47 yards, was not a far shot at all, and he went 10 feet and fell right over. It's pretty impressive. The 80-gr ELD-X broke his front shoulder, went through, completely just debilitated all his vitals, and then exited out his right shoulder and broke that shoulder as well. So I don't even know how he went 10 feet just to begin with, just on adrenaline. Fell over dead. That guy there, it was incredible. It's super soft. It was like kind of petting a bunny or a cat. And just an old ram. He had very awesome growth. It was very impressive to see that. The second day was quite an amazing day. But actually, I want to jump back to the first day, because that evening we went up and we were thinking about maybe getting a blue wildebeest, because that was on my list. I was like, well, if we can get close enough, I would really like to shoot a blue wildebeest. And if it was, a good trophy one. And so my PH, Josh, and the tracker, they got us within 1.15 yards of this herd. It was incredible. Guys, if I wouldn't have shot anything else the rest of the trip, that would have done it for me right there. It was amazing. To be that close to those animals was super cool and impressive. And it was just something I've never experienced before in my life. It was unreal. So, got back to the lodge. We ate dinner, which every night dinner and dessert was amazing. And then we'd sit around the campfire, tell war stories, of hunting and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. And so woke up the next morning, super windy, cold, really cold, because it was winter there in August. And we hop in the truck and we head up in the mountains. And we're about 5,500 feet elevation is what we got up to. Saw some mountain zebras and a couple springbuck and blessbuck and stuff like that. But we were really looking for some blue wildebeests at that point. And we got out and we were looking, saw 2-3 different herds, but they're all kind of scattering around, which was pretty cool to watch them run around and kind of do their thing. And we started to put a stalk on one of the herds, and it started snowing. And I am like just completely amazed that I'm hunting in South Africa. I'm hunting up in the mountains and it's snowing. That's something that I get all the time when I'm hunting, here on the west coast, doing elk hunting or something like that. But it was just so surreal. And we put another good stalk on the blue wildebeests, but once again we didn't really see one that we wanted to shoot, so we ended up passing on them. And this whole time so far, I'm hunting with the 22 Creedmoor. But Josh did spot a springbuck, a good ram springbuck, and it was about 400 yards away. And with the wind, I really didn't feel whole comfortable shooting down into the kind of draw where they were at 400 yards. I wanted to get a little closer, so we did. So we put a stalk on. We got within, I think it was 212 yards. Me and Josh crawling on our belly. Josh is the PH. I'm getting 212 yards. Gives me my range, and we get on him, and I send it. And at first, Josh thought I missed, and I was thinking, "There's no way I missed," because he saw the bullet hit the ground behind it. And I was like, "Man, there's no way I missed." And the thing runs off, and we actually lost sight of it. It ran about 35 yards and kind of went down down the hill a little bit. And the tracker was saying, "No, you got it, it's down." And so we go up to it, and sure enough, it was down. And it passed through right in front of its front shoulder and came out the other behind the other shoulder. The wound on the exit wound was pretty good. It was about 1/2 inch. And the blood trail from where I shot it to where it died was very impressive. I was extremely impressed with how that ELD-X performed. That's why Josh thought I missed it, because he saw that bullet pass through and go through. The only thing was weird is we didn't hear an impact. So that was a little strange. But once we got down to that thing, and it's such a beautiful animal. If I remember right, it's their national animal, and soft and such a cool looking animal, such a cool looking ram. I'm going to go ahead and put it in right now. So, yeah, so that was really neat. So that was the first animal of the day. And then we were like, okay, well, let's see if we can get onto a blessbuck, a good ram blessbuck. And so we did. We drove around to the backside of where we were hunting, and Josh got me onto a really good sized blessbuck. and I was pretty impressed. I was surprised how big of a body these animals were. They remind me a lot of a mule deer, and the wind was ripping right between 20 and 26 mile-an-hour wind, and that thing it would spot us and run off, spot us and run off. Wouldn't quite let us get close. So Josh gave me a range, and we got it at 512. I took the shot, hit it, lights out. That thing's tail went straight out, legs went stiff, head went down, and dove face plant. At 512 yards, that 80gr ELD-X delivered. And I was right then and there, I was like, okay, guys, this thing is a hammer at reasonable distances for hunting. And I shot him in the neck, so I basically spine shotted him, and the vitals and the light switch went right out. I wasn't 100% sure with the wind, so I held for his neck, knowing that the wind would probably push it into the vitals if I was wrong with my wind call, but I wasn't wrong, so I was very pleased with that. So we get down to him, and I was blown away with the size of it. It was pretty awesome. They're such cool, beautiful animals. I'll go ahead and splice in the picture right now of that guy, and so that's the blessed buck, and it was super cool, super. It was kind of crazy because I've never shot in 2 animals in one day. I mean, sometimes you don't shoot 2 animals in a hunting season, and so at that point I was feeling very blessed. And I told Josh, okay, let's get it loaded up. Right then it was around noon. I said, let's head back, let's have lunch at the lodge, and we'll talk about what we want to do after. Well, as we're coming down the mountain, our tracker starts banging on the hood of the Land Rover and saying, huge water buck, huge water buck. I mean, he wasn't saying it in English, he was saying it in his native tongue. And Josh goes, well, will you shoot a water buck? And I go, let me think about it. And I'm starting to do math in my head, looking at what it costs. I'm thinking, okay, well, it's this or a zebra. And when I got out and saw that water buck, there was no doubt in my mind which one I was shooting. So I wanted to get really close, though, because this thing was right on the edge of a cliff, and I didn't want that thing running. With an 80-grain bullet, 22 cal or 224 diameter, I was a little worried because these are big body animals. I mean, they're the size of an elk, and I was like, we got to put one in the pump house to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And so we got in with 37 yards, sent it, hit him right behind the shoulder, right where I should you, and he just rolled over. Josh said, put another one in him. So I shot him in his spine, and he was down, out for the count. That shot was also 37 yards. So, I mean, there's a lot of energy jumping, especially that close on that size game. So it was pretty impressive just to see how well that caliber worked, and that bullet did not explode. It did not exit. It was, it stayed inside the body. So it's pretty impressive. I'll go ahead and splice in the water buck right now. So yeah, that was the water buck. The water buck was super, super crazy. I couldn't believe the size of him. The growth on his horns were super incredible. And there I was sitting at 3 animals, and it was noon. It was just unbelievable. So we get back to the lodge. I told Josh, I said, let's just take the rest of the day off, and we'll figure out what we want to do, or maybe we'll go shoot some, go monkey hunting or something like that. And so we ended up just taking the rest of the day off, and we decided to go to the range and shoot because Josh hadn't shot the 22 Creedmoor before, and he'd also never shot to 1,000 yards. And so we went out there. We shot the 22 Creedmoor a little bit, and he was super impressed with how well it shoots. And we got him shooting at 1,000 yards gong on first round impact. It was pretty awesome. Smile on his face was pretty cool, and it was just overall such an awesome time. Just in general, just spending time with those guys. It was pretty cool. Just being with such knowledgeable people and people that are like you, that think like you too. Enjoy just hunting, and so it was pretty cool. So for the third day, we went out pig hunting. We didn't get any luck pig hunting, but I did shoot a monkey. That was pretty awesome. The 22 Creedmoor did a pretty good number on it, and we didn't get skunked that day. The next day is, I think, probably my favorite day. The fourth day is when I got my Impala. And to me, I think that's probably my favorite trophy, is my Impala. Kind of because of the story behind it, but also just I've always thought they're neat animals, and it's just a banger of an Impala. So we ended up going to a different location, different conservatory, and hunting for Impala. And we got onto one, and we stalked for about, I don't know, 2 hours, and then we came and laid down. And Josh just told me to lay down and get ready. We'll wait for him to come out behind this bush. And he was with about 6 other rams, so he was in like a bachelor crew. And he stayed there for like 30 minutes and did not move. And you could tell he knew something was up maybe, but he just was like, I'm gonna chill. And all the other ones were just like, dude, you know, bebopping around. They could have been shot, all of them could have been shot, 100 times over. But this guy was like, no, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. And so finally he got comfortable and moved and started walking to the left. And Josh gave me a range of 303 yards and told me to send it. We sent it. It was pretty awesome. Because I was shooting uphill a little bit. I watched it hit. I watched the bullet contrail and then watched the bullet hit him right on his shoulder. And the impact just rippled down his body. You saw the bullet go in and hit his other shoulder, because you could tell because his other leg kicked out. He ran about 15 yards and fell over. There was just something about that. I don't know what it is, but it was pretty incredible. I just when I think of Africa, I think of an Impala. So that might be why I'm putting so much value on this particular one. But we got up to it, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll in footage right now. All right, guys, just got an Impala down at 303 yards. We waited forever for the thing to turn around. It finally did. And here's what we got. Say hi, Josh.
Hello. I'm just trying to pose him nicely. He doesn't want to stand for us.
Awesome. We waited about 10 minutes, waited for him to come into position. And Josh said, shoot him. I shot him.
Perfect shot.
So yeah, so that was the Impala. That's all we shot for day 4. And so for day 5, I was like, you know what? Let's give the 22 ARC a chance. Let's go do some culling. Let's go shoot, a cull blessed buck and maybe a cull Impala. And basically for a cull Impala is basically you're looking for the antlers where they're really coming in and almost touching and not coming straight up, because basically you want to kind of weed out bad genetics. And for a blessed buck, you're kind of looking for a female without a baby, or one with also bad genetics, or one that's really old kind of thing. And so that morning we ended up finding a female blessed buck that we watched for about 30 to 40 minutes, and we noticed that her left rear leg was broken, and she was hobbling and walking. And Josh said that'd be a good one. And we get a range, and it's at 473 yards. And this is with the 22 ARC, with the 80gr ELD-X. And that's leaving the muzzle, I think it was like 2,800 and something. So it's still moving pretty good. And Josh asked, can you make that shot? And I said, yeah, I can make that shot. It's not a problem. The wind was pretty much non-existent. I think it was like, 2-3 mile an hour wind. Got set up, shot her. Hit her right on her front shoulder. She ran 15 yards and then fell over right underneath a shepherd's tree. And we were watching her, see if she was going to get back up, see if I needed to shoot her again. We watched her for about 15 more minutes. She never got up. We made the hike up the hill. And she was a very good size old gal, blessed buck. It was pretty impressive. Almost all her teeth were gone. Her coat was kind of gnarly, so it was actually a really good cull. I mean, we're kind of doing her favor. Plus, we're doing her favor. Her leg was actually broken at the knee and basically kind of had like a ring where it's rotted off, and it was just basically hanging there. So that was when I felt pretty good about culling. And it was pretty cool though to see that. I mean, the 22 arc, that how the 22 arc performed at that distance was also very incredible. Just an accurate cartridge and a very accurate rifle. And so we're heading back, and Josh is like, "Okay, let's see if we can get you a real good Impala, for a coal." And we're out doing some hunting, some road hunting, and he notices some, and sure enough, there's a ram in there with a bunch of females that's got his antlers, I mean his horns, are pointing really 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 far in, and he's like, okay, we're gonna take that one. So we was about 450 yards. So we put a good stock on him. I said, let's go with 200 yards, right? Let's get a little closer. Let's see how this bullet does within 200 yards out of the 22 arc. So we got within, I think we got to 178. I'm standing on my tripod, my Louisville tripod. We're all set up, and he turns broadside. I shoot him. He stands up on his back two legs, runs about 10 yards, falls over dead. Walk up to him, dead as a doornail. Pretty good blood trail from where we shot him to where he ended up falling over. And I'm just blown away with what kind of performance I was getting out of that caliber on that size game. And I was super convinced that you could go whitetail hunting, you could go mule deer hunting with this caliber, no problem, either or. Obviously, keep your ranges, within good hunting distances, and know what your caliber's capable of. But it was very, very, very assuring that the bullet, the caliber, the cartridge is just very, very capable. It also helps. I'm shooting very accurate rifles. It also helps. I spent a ton of time behind the 22 Creedmoor, and also helps. I shoot a lot, so I'm a pretty decent shot. But yeah, so that was kind of what we were thinking. Is like, okay, I think I'm pretty much done hunting. We're on our last day here, and we're all sitting around the fire, and we're talking, and the owner Andrew, we're talking about the 22 arc, and he's like, man, I want to see this cartridge in work. And so he grabs my binoculars and starts glassing the hillside, the same actually hillside that Colton shot his boar on. And he notices 3 female fallow deers. And he's telling me, Zach, come and shoot one of these. We'll use it for bait. And I was like, okay. So Seth runs and grabs the 22 arc, grabs his can. I grab my tripod. We get set up. And there's literally probably 3 minutes of daylight left. So it's really dark. I'm set up on it. That 22 arc had I believe a Mark V on top. And the light that Mark V, the Louisville Mark V let in, was very impressive. And Andrew's like, oh, dude, if you make this shot, this is one heck of a shot. I've got everybody in camp sitting here watching me. I'm on the tripod. We get on it. Seth ranges it, and I believe it was 343 or something like that, going uphill. We get on it. I send it, hit it, and she's down. And it was pretty awesome. And that's how we ended the trip for hunting, And to me, it was just a really great experience of learning what the cartridge is capable of, learning what that ELD-X will do at close range, long range in this caliber. It was very, very impressive. I'm so thankful and blessed to have that opportunity that Hornady and Horizon Firearms wanted to take me and go do that. I'm just beyond thankful. So if anybody's watching from Hornady or Horizon, I'm very thankful. And also, if you guys are stuck through the video this whole time, also very thankful. So that basically, that ended the trip. And then we get into flying back and everything like that. And all the traveling arrangements were a breeze. Nothing got lost. Flying back into Atlanta, going through customs, it all was a breeze. So if you're thinking about at all going to Africa or South Africa and worry about the travel arrangements and all that stuff, don't be. Get with a travel agency, get with a reputable, PH, and you'll be good. Get with a reputable outfit, and you'll be good. Get recommendations. Talk to somebody that's been with that PH or the outfit, and you'll be good to go. I can't recommend Gracie enough. Their travel agency enough. It was amazing. The guy Bruce that we were with did an amazing job, and just really grateful. So, guys, if you're looking for a banging rifle, Horizon Firearms makes some good stuff. They make it in 22 Creedmoor. They make it in 7 PRC, 6.5 PRC, all kinds of stuff. Check out Horizon Firearms. Iota stocks. This Wombat action is awesome. Nice and lightweight. The thing is smooth. Just can't be said enough how much I like those Horizon Firearms. And I just felt the rifle take a tumble. And then Hornady. Guys, Hornady makes good ammo. If this ammo doesn't shoot in your rifle, I don't know what factory ammo will. But here we go. 22 Creedmoor and 22 ARC. Both shooting 80 grain ELD-X's. Both of them African proven. And they'll get the job done. Thanks for watching, guys.